Old Dry Frye, a deliciously funny tale by Paul Brett Johnson. A while back there was a preacher man who was plumb crazy about fried chicken. Now all preachers like chicken, but Old Dry Frye was the chicken-eatinest sermonizer that ever laid fire to a pulpit. So if you was having fried chicken for Sunday dinner, you might as well set out an extra plate, 'cause here would come Old Dry Frye with his nose a-twitching and his false teeth a-snapping. You could just count on it. One time, over on Troublesome Creek, or thereabouts, Old Dry Frye was making his Sunday rounds. He stopped off at this farmhouse, and his timing couldn't have been better. The folks there had just scooted up their chairs to the dinner table. Everybody knew Old Dry Frye, so the wife said, "Howdy, preacher, would you care for a bite?" "Why, thank you, don't mind if I do." Sad to say, them was Old Dry Frye's last words. He started gobbling fried chicken so fast he choked on a bone and died right there on the spot. Dead as a doornail. Dead as a bucket lid. "Law mercy," said the husband. "Ain't nobody gonna believe Old Dry Frye couldn't put away a plate of chicken. They'll think we killed him. They'll hang us for murder. We gotta get shed of him." So the farmer and his wife took Old Dry Frye up the road to a poor widder woman's hen house, and that's where they left him. Right away the chickens commenced squawking, and the rooster crowed its full head off. The widder woman come running out the kitchen door, wielding an iron skillet. She'd been missing a few chickens lately. "I'll teach you to stay out of my hen house, you thieving varmint!" And she walloped Old Dry Frye. The preacher teetered a second, and then just plopped over. The widder woman bent down to get a better look. Then she let out a big scream. "Heaven help me! I've done killed the preacher man!" Everybody knew Old Dry Frye. That widder woman figured she better get shed of Old Dry Frye in a hurry, otherwise she'd be strung up for murder. She lugged him out of the hen house and heaped him in a wheelbarrow and lit out down the hill. Old Dry Frye weighed a right smart, so the wheelbarrow got to rolling faster and faster. The widder woman couldn't hardly hold on. All at once the wheel hit a big rock, and it bounced Old Dry Frye out of the wheelbarrow and flung him up in a tree. "Well, there's a piece of luck," said the widder woman, and she went back home. That evening, after dark, there was two brothers coming home late. They stopped to rest underneath the tree. One of them happened to look up and saw two big round eyes shining in the moonlight. "Looky there," he said. "It's a big fat possum. I wouldn't mind having me some possum stew for supper." So the brother found himself a smooth rock. He reared back, sighted, and let go. Well, here come Old Dry Frye tumbling down out of that tree, and he smacked the ground in front of them. "Mighty big possum," said the other brother, and he went over to take a look. "Why, this ain't no possum at all. It's Old Dry Frye. You done killed the preacher man." Everybody knew Old Dry Frye. "Sakes alive, what are we going to do?" said the first brother. "What do you mean, we?" said the other brother. "You was the one that killed him. They'll probably send you to the pen." "Oh, you got to help me, brother." So the two of them carried Old Dry Frye home with them. They tied him up in a feed sack and throwed him in the creek. They figured that would be the end of Old Dry Frye, and nobody would be the wiser. But the preacher man didn't sink to the bottom like he was supposed to. Old Dry Frye washed downstream a ways till he got snagged beside the creek bank. The next day here come this fellow with the sack full of hog meat. The sack was heavy and the sun was beaming down. The fellow was puffing like a blacksmith and the sweat was rolling, so he decided to take a dip in the creek to cool off. He laid his sack alongside the creek and took off his clothes and jumped in. The fellow was having such a fine time he didn't notice that his sack of hog meat had slid off the bank into the creek and floated away. When he felt good and cool, he got out, put his clothes back on, and looked around for his sack. "Now where did I put that dad-burn hog meat?" he wondered. Directly the fellow saw a big sack snagged by the bank. "Reckon how'd he get down there?" He hefted the sack and went on his way. It seemed a bit heavier than it used to. When he got home, he hung up the sack in the smokehouse. The next morning, the fellow's wife went out to the smokehouse to slice some bacon for breakfast. She opened the sack and out tumbled Old Dry Frye. She hollered and squalled till her husband came running out to see what the commotion was. "This ain't no sack of hog meat, it's Old Dry Frye," she screamed. Everybody knew Old Dry Frye. Well, there wasn't but one thing to do. They had to get shed of Old Dry Frye before somebody accused them of murder. They had a mean-spirited horse that wasn't much count, so they put Old Dry Frye atop him. They took a broom and slapped that horse on the rear end. The horse tore out down the road like a train running late. Old Dry Frye bounced and bucked from side to side, with his chin a-bopping and his elbows a-flapping. The man and his wife started yelling, "Thief! Thief! Stop that horse thief! He stole our best horse!" Folks come running out of their house and tried to catch up with the wild horse, but it wasn't any use. In less time than it takes to tell it, Old Dry Frye was spotted down around Monkey's eyebrow. They say Old Dry Frye's still tearing around the countryside. On nights when the moon is full and there's a plate of chicken on the table, you can guess what folks are saying. "Dad, fetch me. I believe that's Old Dry Frye." Yeah, everybody knows Old Dry Frye.